One of the most detrimental conditions in psychiatry is an addiction, in particular an addiction to alcohol. I'm Dr. Anthony Collada. I'm a board-certified psychiatrist. Now, alcohol used recreationally and socially is typically fine from a medical and mental health perspective. For men, it's no more than 3 drinks in a setting. For women, no more than 2 drinks in a day. But not everyone has the ability to control themselves where they can stop at 2 or 3 drinks, which is why some people need to avoid the alcohol altogether. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. So it basically calms down the brain and our thinking and our nerves. It basically calms that down. So some people may use alcohol to help wind down, to help relax. For some people, it helps to cover up some of the pain, whether it's emotional pain or even physical pain. Alcohol can be very strong. It works on the GABA receptor system, which basically activates one of the calming neurotransmitters in the brain. But alcohol over time can lead to an addiction. Some people can get a high to it, so it can activate the addiction pathway in the brain to where alcohol at some point can just consume people's life. And I see this over and over again. And some people, again, can moderate their alcohol use and can live functional lives drinking just some alcohol. A lot of people cannot. In fact, when people go to places like parties or bars or something where there's alcohol around, they may not go with the intention to drink, but just the sound of the place or the smell of the alcohol will cause them to have this craving or urges to drink. And so then they start having a drink, and then it doesn't stop there. Now, people can also drink alcohol for many other reasons. Maybe some people feel depressed. Maybe they're going through something in life that's very stressful, and they use alcohol as a way to cope with some of the negative feelings or negative emotions that they're having. But there's so many other ways to deal with these negative emotions or feelings, and I'll talk a little bit about that more at the end of the video. But it's important to note that alcohol can cause a lot of mental health problems. It can cause depression. Alcohol withdrawal can cause anxiety. Sometimes people may drink alcohol as a way to mask some of their underlying mental health. For example, bipolar people can get very happy, manic, elated, euphoric, maybe go several days with not needing to sleep, having a lot of energy. So people may use alcohol to help calm down themselves, to help drink. Other times people may use alcohol because they're dealing with some sort of trauma, and they could be suffering from like post-traumatic stress disorder. And so their brain is very active and it is in fight or flight mode, and alcohol can calm that part down. And so people will use alcohol to calm down their brain and body that's going in this fight or flight mode. Now, there are several medications that can be used to help treat alcoholism, and I talk about it in other videos like Naltrexone, which is probably the most often prescribed, can help people not get a high or euphoric feeling from alcohol. There's Gabapentin, which can help theoretically with alcohol withdrawal and to decrease people's cravings or urges to drink. There are other medications which you can put into the beverage in itself, and it causes people to have an adverse reaction when they drink alcohol, so it will help them to avoid it. Sometimes people's wives will get this and put it in their husband's drink so they don't drink alcohol. But really the most effective way to stop alcohol is the 12-step programs known as Alcoholics Anonymous, where it's the people who get together who have this fellowship community, and they basically look into God and their spiritual and high power about helping them to free themselves from this addiction that they're going through. So for many people, they may use alcohol as a way to enjoy, to have community with others, to socialize. For medical and mental health purposes, there's many other things that people can replace that with that might be healthier. Maybe it's exercising, maybe it's joining a sports club, maybe it's painting or doing arts and crafts. And if people are dealing with negative emotions or frustrations or feelings, rather than going to alcohol to cover those up, maybe work through that with a therapist. Go to therapy, talk it out, maybe have a journal and write down some of people's thoughts or feelings. People that are Christian and follow the Bible can follow what David and people of the Psalms did, where they had these emotions and thoughts and feelings and presented it to God, and it helped them to process that. But unfortunately, alcohol is a huge problem in today's society. It can cause several accidents. It can cause people to black out, get drunk, fight people, driving under the influence. They can really have drastic life changes, not only just for themselves, but for other people in the community because they can't control themselves from drinking alcohol. Now, alcohol can affect so many different organs of the body. It can affect the brain, the heart, the bone marrow, the liver. It can affect people's moods and emotions. If alcohol is stopped early, some of these the organs that it affects can go back to normal and function normally. But if alcohol continues long-term or in high amounts, some of these organs can be damaged permanently. For example, people's heart can be enlarged because of alcohol use, so it's not going to pump or work as well as it should be, and people can get tired more easily. Maybe they have difficulty breathing. They could be more susceptible to heart attacks. People can get dementia at a young age because of alcohol use, because alcohol could damage parts of the brain. People's liver can be damaged, and that can lead to a lot of toxins to build up in the body. Sometimes people's bone marrows get damaged to the point where they're anemic or they have low white blood cell count, so they can't fight off infections as well. It can just really cause a lot of permanent and long-term damage. And this is not to mention, alcohol can also damage some of the gastric lining, and I've seen people vomit blood several times over and over. And these are young people in their 20s and 30s. They got so addicted to alcohol, and it just causes them to vomit blood, and it can be really a life-threatening condition. Alcohol withdrawal, for example, people who are drinking a lot of alcohol for like several months or years and then stop suddenly, they can develop alcohol withdrawal, and that can cause seizures, which can be life-threatening in itself. So it's such a powerful drug, and people really have to be careful about drinking it. Hopefully this video helps to shed light on some of the problems of alcohol, and people are aware that to be very careful if they decide to use this substance. Thank you for watching.